Welcome students. In this video we will discuss the authorization part of the web application security. The last videos we have discussed the authentication part. The authentication only checks whether the credentials of a user are correct or not, so that the user gets the access to web application. But authorization verifies that which user can access which part of the web application and which resources they can access. So, how we apply authorization in ASP.NET Web application? So, authorization is process of ASP.NET that allows the user to define and assign specific roles to specific users. And in web.config, this is which is the configuration file, and in this file we can use the authorization tag to apply the authorization. So authorization tag is used along with the authentication tag. It means authentication tag is also necessary because first we want to verify the credentials of the user, and then we can check the what permissions are granted to a authenticated user. And there are two types of roles in ASP.NET authorization. Two types of rules, not two types of rules. This is the rules. In ASP.NET authorization, we can define allow rules and we can also define deny rules. Allow rules are applied uh, in order to grant the permission to a authenticated user, and deny rules are also applied to deny the permissions to an authenticated user. It means in both cases the user is authenticated user has a valid username and password, but the permissions can be denied or can be granted, and these tags are also configured in the web.config file. So what are the allow rules? Allow rules are created to grant the permissions to user account or user groups. So it means we can create the different user accounts, or we can also create different user groups using the roles. So these allow rules are applied for accessing a website or web application. It means we can allow or deny, and we can allow the permission to access the complete web application, or we can define allow rules for accessing the specific files or folders, and we can also define the rules for accessing all websites on a server. Deny rules. Deny rules are created to deny the permissions to user accounts or user groups for accessing a website or web application, for accessing specific files or folders of a website or web application, or accessing all websites on a server. It means the deny rules are just opposite to the allow rules. So, what is the format of these allow and deny rules? There is a property called users, and users property or users attribute contains some values, and the values are basically comma separated list. These comma separated lists specify the usernames, but there are two wildcards. These wildcards are star and question mark, and for the question mark represents all. It means if we use deny users equal to question mark, then it will deny access to all anonymous users. It means it is for anonymous users, which have the users which don't have any user ID and password, the users which are not registered on the website. And if we use star wildcard, then it denies access to both anonymous and authenticated users. It means all the users, whether the users who are registered on the web application or who are not registered. The same kind of rules are applied on allow tag. So allow users equal to question mark means allow access to all the anonymous users, And allow users equal to star, it means allow access to both anonymous and authenticated users. So star is for both anonymous and authenticated users, and question mark is for only the anonymous users. So now we discuss several examples of the authorization tag. The root web.config file without any authorization. Suppose we don't want to provide any authorization. It means the users who are the authenticated, or the users. It will also apply to the anonymous users also. It means whether the users are registered or not registered. The access is provided to all the users for all the pages. So in the configuration file, suppose we have authentication mode equal to form, and we don't define any authorization tag, then it means anybody can access to the website, and the users can access any web page. Now in this example, we want to deny anonymous users to access entire website. It means we just want that the users of the website are the authenticated users who have proper username and password for this website. So all users of the website must log in before accessing any web page. It means we want that for our website must be accessed by only those users who have valid user ID and password. And all anonymous users will be denied access, otherwise the users are not get the access. So this is an example of situation where the website administrator has created the account of all the users, and users need not register themselves. So in this example, there is no registration page. Suppose you don't want to give any registration page to the users, and users already have their user ID and password, and user ID and password is provided by the website administrator, and the user ID and password is also created by website administrator. So in the authorization tag, we have used deny users equal to question mark. It means anonymous users will not get access. Only the authenticated users having the valid user ID and password will get the access to all the pages. Now, in this example, we want that the users can get access to the website with their user ID, with their valid user ID and password. But the website administrator will not create the user ID and password. It means there will be a sign up page also along with the sign in page. In the sign up page, there will, or we can say, the registration page. The registration page must be accessed by all the users, whether the users have their account on the website or not. So we want to provide the access to the registration page, public access to the registration page, and only the authenticated users or registered user will get the access to other pages. So here we specify the authentication tag like before, and authorization we specify deny users equal to question mark. It means all anonymous users are denied access. Now we will use the location tag also. In the location tag, we provide the path property, and path property will contain the path to the registration page. So it will be our sign up page, and if suppose we have the sign up page in certain folder, then we need to specify the complete path also. This tilde and slash sign will be for the path to the root of the web application. And then we specify again the authorization tag and allow users equal to star. Allow users equal to star, it means all anonymous users can access the registration.aspx. So if we want to provide this allow users equal to star, this rule to all the anonymous users for a specific page or pages contained in a specific folder, then we must use this location. Then we must use this location tag. The location tag contains the path to the specific page where we want to set the rules separately. Now in this example, we want to allow access to a particular user only and deny everyone else. So it means only there are specific users which we want to provide access to the website, to specific pages, and other users must be denied access, again because we want to provide certain pages the specific rules then we must use the location tag. In the location tag, we specify path equal to user personal.hp. It means this is the page where we want to restrict the access to certain number of users. So we specify this path, and in this path we specify a web page, or we can also specify the folder name, and which contains a number of web pages. And again, system.web will be the child of this location tag, and then authorization tag. In authorization tag, we provide the allow tag, allow users equal to user1. It means we can in this rule we specify that only the user when the username equal to user1 will get the access to user personal.aspx to this particular web page. And suppose we want to provide the access to several users, then we can separate these usernames with the comma. So this is the comma separated, just like user1 comma user2 comma user3. And then we must also specify the deny rule. So deny users equal to star. It means all other users are denied access, whether they are authenticated or anonymous users, they will be denied access. Only the user one will be granted the access to the user personal.aspx. Now, the next example, we want to allow only users in a particular role. Now, the creation of a role is a separate topic, and it is beyond the scope of this course or subject. Then, we don't create the roles here, and but we assume that there are two roles exist, that is the customer and admin. And we also assume that there are two different folders. One is called the customer folder, and second one is the admin folder. Both these folders contain different web pages specific to the customers and specific to the admin respectively. Now, admin can we also want that the customer will access only the web pages contained in the customer folder, whereas the admin will access all the pages, whether they are contained in the customer folder or in the admin folder. So again, we specify the location tag, and here we specify the path. Path is the admin folder, and then we specify the authorization rules and allow roles equal to admin. It means if the role if a user has a role equal to admin, then that particular user will access all the pages contained in the admin folder, and all other users, whether they are authenticated or anonymous users, will be denied access. And the users which don't have the role as admin will be denied access. Next, we specify the location tag again, and here we specify path equal to customer folder. Now, for the customer folder, we want to specify that both the users with the role admin and customers can access the web pages contained in the customers folder. So we specify the authorization tag again and allow roles equal to admin comma customers. So both kinds of users, both types of users, both admins and customers can access all the web pages contained in the customer folder. And then we have to specify deny tag also, deny users equal to star, and all other users, whether authenticated or anonymous users, will be denied access to this folder. And this example can be performed in a different way also. Alternative way is that we must specify the web.config for each folder. It means in the previous example there is one web.config file, and this location tag is used twice in the single web.config file. Now, but we can do it differently also. We have two folders, customer folder and admin folder, and both of these folders contain web.config file. And in the web.config file, we specify the configuration tag, then system.web, then authorization tag, and allow roles equal to admin we have specified here, and deny is same, that means all other users will be denied access. And in this is the web.config file in the customer folder. Now customer folder contains all the web pages that can be accessed by both the admin type users and customers type users. So we specify the allow roles equal to this. So these are the configuration tag is there, and configuration tag will be different in both web.config file. So in this example we create two web.config file in two folders separately. Now And suppose we have specified allow rules for some authenticated users, and users can log in and they will be redirected to their profile page, for example. However, in nearly all applications, we store images and CSS files separately. Generally, all the images are contained in the images folder, and CSS files are also contained in some other folder, like assets folder or any other folder. So if we have specified the allow rules and deny rules for all the users, for all the authenticated users, then these folders where the images and CSS files are contained, these folders are will not be accessed by these kinds of users. So when the users view their profile or the web pages, they will not get the images. The images will not be displayed and style sheets will not be applied. So what is the solution? Solution is that for image folder and CSS file folder, we also specified a web.config file. So a web.config file must be there. It must be created and stored in these two folders respectively, or any other folder that we want to grant access to the authenticated users. And here we can use the authorization tag and allow users equal to star. This means all users can access the images and CSS file. And we can also specify the separate rules also. Here we have used allow users equal to star, and we can also use allow users equal to we can use allow users equal to question mark for anonymous users, or we can use allow users equal to username with comma separated list, or we can also use allow roles equal to some role type like admin or customer also. But we must define a web.config file in the images folder and style sheet folder. So that is all for authorization. Thank you.